And then I want you to watch Victor Davis Hanson. He goes off on another. This is a person who earns money from the government, Lisa Cook. She's on the Federal Reserve Board. Watch.
There's three reasons that she should have never been on the Federal Reserve Board. One, she is dishonest. For all of her anger and all of the lawsuits, all she had to say is, I have never, ever taken a document, notarized public document, and lied that this was my principal residence and that was my principal residence. Nor have I ever tried to disguise the nature of my purchase to get mortgage fraud. I've never done, she hasn't done that. She will not deny it. Second, she's a plagiarist. So she should have never been appointed. She's a Claudine Gay, who is also a plagiarist. And people have accused, remember, there was another person that they have accused. I'll get back to it. And then third, if you look at her expertise, there's nothing economic on it. There's nothing, she doesn't have banking. You know what it is? It's this particular group, blacks, have been discriminated this way and this way and this way and this way. So she is what I have seen where I work when we have people apply to the Hoover, a cultural economist, cultural. She's not interested in finance and interest rate. She doesn't have any expertise. So she was put on there by Biden under DEI. And that's just a fact.
So you know what that does, right? When you have a cultural economist who doesn't know anything about the economy, interest rates, how economies work, who hasn't not only not read any of the material, but can't talk about it, that person is of no use to the organization. So everybody just works around that person. And then when she's found to be dishonest, not just a plagiarist, as he's alleging, and really the plagiarism is of no concern to us other than it goes to the veracity of her statements. But what it does is it hurts other Black people in positions of authority, because people begin to question whenever you see a Black person, is it DEI or is that person qualified? Did they choose that person because they needed to fill a diversity quota? Or is that person really great at being an economist, analyzing markets, talking about trends and spotting trends before they actually occur? Because economists don't just react to what the economy is doing. They look at the historical data and they predict what economies are going to do in the future. And businesses and governments use that information to plan and act strategically. There's a huge difference between someone sitting there because they're Black or them being there because they contribute and they're valuable to the organization. That's what we want to get back to.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.